Hey, what's good my fellow masters? Just a quick video here since we got the official notice of the Interlude Campaign 16 to start on June 15th and last until June 22nd. So for those that have finished through Act 1 of Avalon Le Fay, this could be something to pass the time while waiting for Act 2 to come on the 20th. My prediction for this was a bit off in regards to the timing. I had guessed it would be around the last week of June. But it does seem like this Interlude Campaign was a good way to pad out the time in between Act 1 and Act 2. Sort of how I figured things would go, kinda. At any rate, we are getting new interludes for 7 servants. Saber Astolfo gets a buff to his first skill with his interlude. An NP charge of 10 to 20% is added to complement the already existing NP charge per turn, and he gains a star bomb ranging from 10 to 20 stars depending on skill level. Pretty solid, as both new effects can work well with his kit. Next, we have Canis, whose interlude also provides a buff to one of her skills. Her second skill gains additional effects of critical stars per turn, scaling from 5 to 15, and a flat 20% NP charge. Again, this looks to be pretty solid. An NP charge is always handy in my book, and those crit stars per turn can be used with her crit damage increase Canis gets with her NP. The all-around good guy and our friend Mandricardo gets an interlude, no buff though. But that's okay, as the SQ reward it provides can help with savings. Remember, one of the features in the 6th anniversary campaign is the doubling of the interlude SQ reward in these non-buff type quests. Plus, Mandricardo is freely available to all through the Friend Point Gacha, so hopefully he's joined your Chaldea and he's at least at his 3rd Ascension and at Bond 3. Every bit of SQ can help. Another one to get a new interlude, but just with an SQ reward like Mandricardo, is the SSR caster Anastasia. Being an SSR, she's not quite as easily accessible as Mandricardo, so obviously not everyone will have her. But if you do, then Anastasia's interlude is another SQ to be gained, along with an additional one when the anniversary comes. Then we have the 2-star Berserker Salome, who also gets an interlude quest with an SQ reward. Hopefully most of you have her from the Friend Point Gacha. Salome needs to be at her 4th Ascension and Bond 5 in order to access her interlude. Antonio Salieri's new interlude provides him with a much needed buff in my opinion, upgrading his 3rd skill from just a 3 attack 3 turn defense down debuff to an enemy, to including a huge bump in his crit star absorption and a nice increase to his critical damage, scaling from 50 to 100%, though both new effects are just 1 turn each. Regardless, it does help give Salieri a bit of burst damage potential when in conjunction with his first skill's crit star per turn and 3-tack modest crit damage buff. And our 7th servant is none other than Yangui Fei. It's an SQ reward type of interlude quest, and I'm quite looking forward to this one, as any story with Hao Hao is a good thing in my opinion. Now, if you have any of these servants but not yet leveled up, then there will be a special 2 times the chance of super and great success when performing enhancements during this campaign to help, though it is only available to the 7 servants with new interludes. Lastly for the campaign is the usual 1/2 AP cost for all interlude quests. This includes these new ones. So if you have some backlog, this is the perfect time to get them done, especially as we're waiting for LB6 Act 2 to release, and of course the benefit of gaining some more SQ before certain banners come along. Now, how about the associated summoning banner with this interlude campaign? Well, I really don't have to say it, right my fellow masters? About staying strong and just continuing to save? Maybe it's more for my benefit than anything else, since I gotta admit I really want Canis, who has eluded me before. But all of the servants on this banner will have other rate ups in the future, so no need for any fear of missing out. The featured SSR in this banner is Anastasia, and I think she's a pretty solid AoE arts caster, mainly due to her 50% NP battery, 3-turn party-wide attack buff, a 1-turn ignore invincibility, plus a number of enemy party debuffs in her kit, like an attack down, defense down, and 1-turn skill seal. She is a part of the permanent summoning pool and will also be an option to choose among the free SSRs from the special summons that is introduced with the 6th anniversary. She is also on rate up during the upcoming anniversary as well, sharing a rotation with Koinskaya on a particular day. then again in March of 2024 when the long-running Road to Lost Belt 7 campaign starts off. In addition, Anastasia, aka the Bane of Mist, is typically available during the Valentine's event every February. It's also worth noting that if you would like to just have a version of Anastasia in your Chaldea, and not necessarily her as an SSR caster, then the upcoming 2023 summer event will have a swimsuit Anastasia 4-star archer version to tempt you out of your quartz. Then we have the featured SR on this banner, the story-locked Canis, and I feel that Anyway, I feel Canis could be the most compelling reason to roll on this banner. Her story lock status coupled with her being the sole rate up SR on the banner does make for a good opportunity here, if you really want her, that is. But this fiery AoE Buster Lancer will also be on the Koyanskaya banner on a particular rotation, though it's with other SRs as well, and of course they are Lancers too, just to mess with us. After that, Lancer Canis will have a solo SR rate up during the Olympus part of the Road to Lost Belt 7 campaign, expected around October of 2024. Not to worry though if you want your Canis fix earlier than that, as her summer version will be coming to a beach near you during the 2023 summer events in a couple of months. I suppose Antonio Salieri can pose a bit of a similar temptation as well, being a story-locked 3-star servant. Perhaps more so since in theory it should be fairly easy to summon a rate up 3-star, right? Right? Well, if you are saving for a higher priority target, then probably best not to take any chances with precious quartz or tickets. Salieri will also be on 2 rotations during Koyanskaya's banner, and then again on rate up around March of 2024 for the start of the Road to Lost Belt 7 campaign, along with Anastasia. As for our friend, the 3-star rider Mandricardo, you should definitely roll for him if you really want him. Just use those friend points you've been accumulating. But seriously, no need to roll specifically for Mandricardo on this or any other banner in my opinion. He will eventually show up at some point either when you happen to be rolling for a limited servant or on a random friend point summon. Bottom line, it's perfectly safe and recommended to ignore this banner. There are much more important servants to roll for that are just around the corner, especially these two if keeping up with the meta is your thing. Again, I hope that knowing there are other banners in the future for these servants can help stave off any last moment temptations. I have a friend that I must constantly remind to keep saving since he tends to just roll when the new banner comes up to scratch that gacha itch, you know what I mean? Please don't forget to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Thanks for watching and until the next one. Cheers!